Which camera?
I'm gonna go right on the other side of y'all. I got too much of a glare in the sun.
Okay. Both cameras are going to be live. One at a time, I'm switching.
That first interview we did, or actually both of them, could have been a little fuzzy because I didn't realize it was on focus. And trying to focus it out. Say hey.
Alton wanted me to go on camera for a minute with him, so.
Yeah, we're going to do that after the ribbon cutting.
Oh, after the ribbon cutting, okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Hey, how are you? Hey, how are you? Good, good to see you. Yeah, that's fine. He just wanted me to do that.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you? All right.
After the ribbon cutting, we'll do the interview.
Okay. Lee and Wayne and you mind good?
Keisha.
Hey Nick, how are you? Red dog sweat on the shirt.
Yes, you need to do something.
I just closed the thing on it, but I had pulled the viewfinder out just to try to save some battery.
Yes, the delay screws with it. Well, I can monitor right here, but the same thing here. Fine hair skin you got here. Hey, Bobby. How you doing?
I'm good.
How you doing, sir?
Right.
Hey, Bobby. Go fishing. Hey, don't dare say that. Bobby. My fishing buddy. Good. That will be up here lined up. Mug shot. I don't know, Doc. The ribbon cut. I'm doing.
Taking a big drone. I mean, I seen like cool. I saw the Phantom. I saw the Karma. I need to get another shot.
Your trailer up was with me. I didn't tell you. I didn't see you. Hey, I didn't see you drone. I've been seeing you.
We don't want to do it from pro, right?
That's somebody
That way you can focus on flying. Or one of us can focus on flying, one of us can focus on
I own the arrow.
I would want something that doesn't have to be two people.
So do you. And you know they're taking dope and telephones.
One person can do it if they need to.
I think they're shooting down too. I hadn't heard of it, but they know they're coming. I would think they're shooting down. And that'd be fun. It really would. It'd be fun.
I thought the police department.
Woo! Thing gets up too high. I can't look at it.
Great up here.
I was hoping somebody had a biscuit, sausage biscuit. We were cooking down there.
I've been walking this thing.
Well, you ain't got too far to go back.
It worked. It might as well come out here.
What kind of nonsense y'all talking about?
It doesn't matter. Where were you yesterday? We stopped
The
by
mayor
your house.
wonders
How much
if
you
you
can
turn
go
the
in?
speakers that way and they're flying.
Well, the government worry about this.
He took that off his neck, put it on mine, and don't come home. That's my heart. That's my heart.
Hey, Bobby.
I know. We always think that's too live.
Hey, buddy.
I hear you gonna go ahead and have the show
And he went.
Well, you had said that before. Yes, she told me, said he's gonna wait. She ain't going to the doctor down, said she's doing better than he ever
I'm
has.
gonna die first, for sure.
How you having?
I'm going to line on
Hey, how's Adam? I haven't seen him in a long time.
He's doing good.
Is he?
He's doing good. Won't get married, but don't know who he wants to marry.
I heard that. Tell him he don't need to.
You're not having to look for one either, are you?
No, because he said, I said, where y'all going to live at? I said, well, we're going to live here.
Well, of course.
I said, how you going to live here? He said, I'll buy a bigger bed.
So I ain't helping. All right.
I like the way he thinks.
Is he a Democrat?
He'll tell you right quick on that.
You tell him that's the way Democrats
That's
do.
what got so involved in politics during the election. Man, he knew more than I did.
What's he gonna do in the ball? Empty ball. Okay. I want to make sure.
Right in front of you.
Yeah, you take
Oh, I got it.
Have you seen those drone races they have in there? I don't see how they can react that fast. Of course, every once in a while one does doing the crash sign.
That's a young people's game.
He ain't up there right now. The reflex has got to be real fast, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Marty?
So you can see.
Yeah, I'm having to shoot. If I can get Bobby to move.
Hey, Bobby ain't gonna bother. Luke move over, he's trying to line his camera up. He's getting ready for the
Yes,
video.
sir.
I tried to kill him, he didn't help.
Oh, well. You just represent. Now, what's going on for
Oh, okay, but it wasn't something.
No.
Good day.
That's the thing. You know, I feel like but that was my 30th. Well, that would be, I think that would be in 100.
But there's always a break.
Right, yeah. Exactly. I thought they've been outside a lot.
Good morning, everyone. If you could please, we know it's been hot and sunny on a beautiful day in Troup County, but we would like everyone to please gather around. You may want to stand on this side so you can hear the speakers, and we're also going to cut the ribbon on our model mile right in this area as well. So please gather around, and we'll begin the program in just a moment.
Hey, how you doing?
How are you?
All right.
Ready to get this all? Everybody can see it. Ready to get this all on TV?
Well, we're live right now on Facebook. We figure that's the best way to get the most viewers.
How do your Facebook numbers go compared to your like actual live TV?
Ask that question again.
How do your Facebook numbers end out compared to the TV ones?
Well,
Everyone, please join me in welcoming our wonderful mayor, Mayor Jim Thornton.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the grand opening of the first segment of the Thread Trail here at Granger Park. We are delighted to have such a great turnout this morning. Appreciate all of you coming out. Appreciate those of you who participated in the fun runs that were held earlier this morning. It's certainly a great and exciting day here in LaGrange. Thank you for being a part of it. I would like to extend a welcome on behalf of the City Council of LaGrange. We have two of our council members here today. Appreciate them being with us. I know we have Councilman Nick Woodson and we have Councilman Mark Mitchell. If y'all would wave and please welcome them. I'll talk in a minute about all of the partners that made this possible, but certainly the support of the City Council was essential to what we've done here at the Thread. This is a very exciting day. One person who was not able to be with us today is Bob Gehring, who many of you know is the head of the Friends of the Thread Trail. He is actually vacationing, visiting his family in France this particular week. But that is kind of how all this got started. About 2 years ago, Bob had been visiting some family who lives in France and had seen a trail system. And when he came back to LaGrange, he asked to have breakfast with me and Chairman Patrick Cruz, who you'll hear from in a minute. And he said, I had a wonderful time while I was in France, walking, biking, enjoying the outdoors in the little village where his family lives. It's not in Paris, it's outside of Paris. And he said, we need something like that in LaGrange. And when he first proposed that to us, we kind of looked at him a little skeptically, as sometimes elected officials do. Well, cost, and would anybody support it? Would anybody really enjoy it, come out to participate in it? But Bob kept pushing, and he got some more Friends of the Thread organized, and here we are, less than 2 years, I think it is, later, we have this magnificent model mile of the Thread that many of you have had a chance to enjoy, and it certainly is going to be transformative of the city, particularly after we build out the full 29 miles. which I know will take some time. It's not going to happen overnight, but I think over the next 5 to 10 years, as this trail system builds out, it's going to really be transformative of LaGrange and Troup County. There are a lot of exciting things happening in LaGrange right now. We talk about a lot of the new people moving to town, a lot of the new jobs that are being created, a lot of the new corporate investment, a lot of the new infrastructure projects that you see all over the city. You can't go anywhere in the city without seeing a new construction project, whether it's at the mall or whether it's at Exit 13 in Great Wolf or whether it's at Lee's Crossing or anywhere in downtown. You're seeing new investment in our community. What's exciting to me about the thread is that it does two things. One is, and it's a homage to the name, it actually sews together the community of LaGrange. My wife would say it doesn't weave the community together, because I don't think that's what thread does. It sews it or stitches it together. But it is bringing together all of these parts of our city where we're experiencing transformative growth. Today it's Granger, and in just a couple of months it's going to be Calumet and Eastside Park, where the second segment of the thread has already been designed and construction should begin in the next couple of months. So those are the first two segments, but over time it will sew together the entire community. But the other thing that it does is that it makes LaGrange not just a great place to work, which we are. We're a great place to work. We have great jobs and great corporate investment in our community. But it also adds to that quality of life. It adds to that livability. It becomes something that we just enjoy. And I have seen, I'm going to tell you, you can come out here any day it's a warm day today, I admit, but you can come out any hot July day at noon and you'll see people out walking the thread. And it is a diverse group of people. It's senior citizens, it's young mothers with children, it's singles out with dogs. It's a cross-section of our community enjoying Granger Park and enjoying this thread property. Like most things in LaGrange, it's a partnership. The one thing that I think we do exceptionally well in LaGrange and Troup County is we work together. We work together with all the various stakeholders that have some interest in our community. Certainly, I've already mentioned the city, and I'm here today representing the city, but you're going to also hear from other parts of the community where there have been other partners involved. Certainly, the county has been an integral part of this project, as well as the school system and the school board. We appreciate their support of it. We could not have done it without the Callaway Foundation. It's kind of interesting where we are in Granger Park. Granger Park represents the partners to make things happen to the benefit of our community. The old part of Granger Park was the city of LaGrange. This part is owned by the Callaway Foundation, at least the city. But the Troup County Recreation Mission actually maintains much of the park, as well as the school board, the school system with LaGrange. Lots of hard in it, and it's possible without the of all those entities. Shout out session. This force design the and Hilton, Dixon Columbus, the back job as well as which this facility. So it's very exciting for me as your mayor to see this kind of turnout, to see the kind of use this train are coming out today to support it.
Good morning. Certainly it was a great morning. I drove to see July morning to be here for this exciting event. Makes us feel real good to live in Troup County. As the mayor said, yes, there are great partners in Troup County. And we all seem to work together really well to bring things such as this to our community. But I do, as the mayor said, recognize that this all started from a breakfast with Bob Gehring. And we sat around that table, and we kind of challenged Bob a little bit to see if he could be the spark plug, make this thing happen. So as we see today, this is one of the most exciting things going on in Troup County right now with the thread. So I want to first applaud all the volunteers that have worked very hard to get us to where we are today. Certainly we are excited about the future of where the thread might go and the other many miles that have to be built. But again, it all started from that spark from our citizens. And so we thank you very much for being a part of it. I do want to recognize one of our county commissioners, Mr. Ellis Cadenhead is in the crowd. Ellis, right up front. And a person that'll probably get mad for recognizing him, but our new recreation director, and I'm not sure that all of you have had a chance to meet Cajun Rhodes, but this is certainly a big part of recreation in Troup County. So Cajun, raise your hand. But again, thank all of you. And I will have to make a little quick plug. You probably have already seen that the county is in the process of calling for a SPLOST, and our municipal governments will all be a part of that. And so I can't go without saying that we need your support when that comes up in the very near future, because that's how we fund things such as this. So again, a plug for the SPLOST, but thank you again. And our next speaker is Spear Burdette from the Callaway Foundation.
Thank you, Patrick and Jim. I always enjoy following Jim and Patrick on the podium because I really don't need to say much more after they speak. The Callaway Foundation is delighted to be a part of this. For many of you, if you think back where you're standing today, how many of you remember that big gully that went through the middle of this field and poured into that creek, and all of the kudzu that surrounded that gully? And this was once actually a portion of a landfill over here at one time, years ago. How transformative this has been. We're delighted to be able to have, several years ago, created this green space and this nice passive area that passes from Harrelson Street to Granger Park, but now to be able to transform that with the thread. I thought the thread would be successful. I really knew it would be successful. You know, Lee and Natalie, we went up to Carrollton and looked at what they had done up there, and we said, surely we can do this in LaGrange. My wife and I come out after the temperature drops down to about 100 now in the evenings, about 8 o'clock, and walk the thread. And as Jim said, you see all people from all ages, walks of life, and everybody smiling and speaking, and it's such a great place for our community to come together. And I don't think I've ever seen Granger Park in this area look any better than it looks right now. I mean, it really does look good. I'm so proud of everybody that's worked so hard to get it to this level. Again, in the way of introductions, I'm not sure I've seen many of the trustees of the foundation here, but I will take this opportunity to introduce Mama Jama, the storytelling mama who's made an appearance over here. So, that walks the thread with me in her alter ego in the evenings. Again, the foundation is delighted to have been a part of this. We're so excited about how this can transform LaGrange and continue to move through the community. We've seen so many people out here say, gosh, I'm enjoying doing this, and I never really walked before. So this is getting people out that haven't been out before, and that's part of the reason for this. I know there's a grant that is helping to measure the health of our community as a part of this, and all of this is just great information, and I'm so proud to be a part of a community that comes together, and thank all of you for coming out for this morning. Scott Landa with Friends of the Thread will be our next speaker.
Thanks, Spear. I'm not like these three guys ahead of me. I actually need notes, so bear with me because I have a lot of people to thank. As Spear said, I am representing Friends of the Thread. I serve as vice chairman of our Friends of the Thread board. Have enjoyed that. I also work with Keep Troop Beautiful. I got to put a plug in for that. And I've got my friends behind me here who also work with Keep Troop Beautiful. So I want to throw that out there. Very important to all of us. So I am standing in for Bob Gearing. He has already communicated with us, I think all of us on the board, this morning, because he's out enjoying, probably in cooler weather, the path trails out there in France. So I don't feel real sorry for him, but I wish he were here, because he definitely is the one that got us started. So I want to go ahead and recognize several groups and thank them for their participation. First of all, our huge group of volunteers, all of you out there in those beautiful shirts, thank you so much for coming out this morning and doing your work, actually even prior to today. So thank you to those volunteers. We actually have sponsors for this activity, for this ribbon cutting. They are listed on the banner over here on my left, and I'll call them out. LaGrange Women's Health, Mallory Agency, Mike Patton Auto Family, National Management Resources, An Affair to Remember, Arrington Builders, Kemp's Carpets, Insurance America Insurance, and the Medicine Cabinet. We couldn't have had all this great stuff here today for this ribbon cutting without them, so give them a round of applause. We're going to have more ribbon cutting, so if you're interested in sponsoring, let us know. I want to also put in a big thank you to our corporate sponsors, also listed on the banner to our left, to my left. Wellstar West Georgia Medical Center, Emory at LaGrange, the Charter Foundation, and Heart of West Georgia. Spear mentioned that part of what we're trying to do through Friends of the Thread is to really measure how we're doing, and I, for one, always am looking to try to improve my health at my old age. So this is one of those things that we're going to be measuring. We also want to measure the economic impact of what this trail system is going to give the city of LaGrange and Troup County as a whole. So again, thanks to the many individuals and companies who have agreed to sponsor amenities on the thread. So amenities are signage and our benches and different things like that. So we have a lot of support that way, and we'll be looking for further support in the future. So please take note of that. We're still in the process of putting signs up, so be on the lookout for those signs as you travel the thread. Since the city of LaGrange, and Mayor Jim talked about this, approved the building of this last September, we've all watched, I think with some amazement, the remarkable transformation of this area of Granger Park. Spear referred to it as well. Every time any of us kind of walks past, drives past this area, all the way over to the high school area, there's something different. There's something new that we see that has happened with the building of the thread, and it's just been very exciting. Yeah. Literally, as soon as the concrete was dry enough for anybody to get on it, we saw people out there using it. So with that, I want to recognize publicly here the Path Foundation. It's been mentioned. Their design and their support in terms of guiding us on the best ways to do things has been tremendous. The Llewellyn Construction Company, and I think we have a representative here today from Llewellyn, working with weather conditions, people conditions, all of those to get this thing built has been also tremendous. So we really thank them for their quality work. And can't leave here without thanking the city. The city of LaGrange has also worked very hard on this. They've been side by side with Llewellyn on making this thing look great. The thread is beautiful and works as well as it does, thanks to the city. They've put a lot of effort in it. So thank you, City of LaGrange. Okay. Friends of the Thread, I want to just talk a little bit about that. We started up last fall as a nonprofit. We are a nonprofit. We depend on fundraising to raise our funds to help support this. We support the maintenance of the Thread as it's being used. If you have questions about Friends of the Thread, please see any of us board members, and we'll be happy to talk to you about that. We love volunteers, so we can always use those. Okay. I want now to kind of begin the idea about handing off our first segment from the stakeholders of the first segment, which really is represented by Granger High School and the Callaway Foundation. So if Kay Jackson and Spear would come forward. This represents the first mile. So I want to give this to you, and then you're going to hand it off here in a second. So now if Chad Cooper of the Housing Authority, Sherry Cody of Twin Cedars, Cajun Roads, we've got to get you back up here, Cajun, and of course Spear is already here. These folks represent the stakeholders for segment 2, our next segment, which is shown on the map over here. So if Kay and Spear, if you'll kind of hand off to our next group here. Get up there, Kay. Okay. And obviously the photo op for everybody. So we present our second segment group with this marker as a ceremonial handover for the stakeholders from segment 1 to segment 2 and on into the future. We're really excited about this next segment coming up and the segments beyond that as well. Patrick mentioned the SPLOS coming up. You'll be hearing a lot more about that in order to support where we go in the future. So again, thank you. And then Paige Estes, I think we're ready for the actual ribbon cutting. We can get that set up.
All right, everyone, we want everyone here to participate in the ribbon cutting. If you're on this side, move toward the tree. You'll see our golden ribbon. If everyone will get to that side of the ribbon, and if our speakers, our elected officials, our Friends of the Thread members, if you could all please gather toward the front of that ribbon, we would appreciate it. Everyone head to this direction.
We're still missing. Don't do this one right now. Do this one right now.
So what?
All right, everybody, if you will look to the paparazzi. Everyone look to the cameras and smile. On behalf of the Chamber, we are delighted that the Friends of the Thread not only are connecting all of us through their projects, but they're connecting through the Chamber of Commerce, and we certainly appreciate your membership and allowing us to be here for the ceremonial ribbon cutting of the Model Mile. We like to count to 3 and cut the ribbon by saying something, so you're all going to help me count to 3, and we're going to say the Thread, and Executive Director Natalie Hale is going to cut our ribbon. Y'all ready? Yes. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. The Thread! Everyone, please enjoy your wonderful time on the Model Mile, and you're welcome to go visit the second mile, miles 1 and 2 at Calumet Park. And if you would like to borrow a bike today to be able to ride, please go see the folks at Golden's Bike Shop.
if it's too much, we can just
No.
the other part of it.
You got the person ready? Okay. Huh? Yeah, you stop recording.